And with zero means we're ready for the show. Hey, everybody. Welcome. We finally made it under the wire, finally, for the first time in a week. Well, first time since at home. Finally got the show under the wire of lunch hour. So it's technically lunch hour. So I'm getting better. Just cut the workout down about 10 minutes. That seemed to help today. Monarchs Mocha rolls in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Let's talk some Monarchs baseball. We love production value. We love production value, don't we? Now, I never would have dreamed many moons ago when I was doing a little interning at KMAC. Yes, the station was called KMAC. Sounds made up, doesn't it? That all these moons later, I'd actually be able to do my own little production value without having to go and sit at editing day and all that good stuff. Let's check the audio. See how we're doing on this end. I do believe we're doing good on this end. How's everybody doing today? That's the big question. Have we solved American Association expansion from last night? I know we were talking about it. It was a hot topic last night, but we had a list of places, didn't we? Everything from Waco to Belize. pretty hot topics there. Well, let's just see. Not having to go. There we go. We are going. We are good. I'm the cool. You're the coolest guy with any variation of the name Mark. I'm not sure what you mean by that, mate, but okay. I'll take the coolest guy. The guy behind me is pretty cool too, but every once in a while he'll come up for air. I swear I walked in a while ago and he was in the middle of a slinging conversation. Yeah, I got you set up. Got you. Yeah, no problem. It's like those are the words you want to hear if you're on the other end from the ticket guru himself. If you're a customer, you're like, that's the guy I want to talk to, not the clown on the radio. All right. Roastery Coffee Company. Nice. Again, it's all nice and cold, really, really cold. Took the cold brew today. Did the normal cold brew deal where I take the cold brew and put the normal deal is glass. That's what you do. But I like to really make it cold, so I packed this thing with ice. I mean, I'm talking jam-packed it through, pound it down, and then load it up with a little chocolate raspberry. What do we need to turn it around? That's a very, very, well, let's try this one. I like that one a little better. Yeah, Brad, it's been for us a couple nights. I kind of said this last night a little bit. And I'm taking you back to 2018, 2019, in both situations. But you just almost do what you've been doing. My girl saw taking a chance around the guys just put the game yesterday. Oh, that's awesome. They're still beaming today. Did you hear that? Rodney White's telling us, Nick, you should hear this, that yesterday his girls softball team got a chance to run out with the guys before the game yesterday. Yep. Unbelievably professional and awesome to our girls. They're still beaming today.
Perfect. That's what we like to hear. That's why we do it.
I tip my cap. That's because this guy right here. Yep. And because of what we do as an organization. That's awesome. Rodney, that's awesome, man. Love to hear that. That's good news. That is good news. Really good news. That's just the kind of thing that, that when I say this on the broadcast last night, the last couple of nights, even with the camera just a little bit, I say we can really do something for everybody. And that's a great example. That's a young kids softball team. Oftentimes you think, oh, well, corporates, things like that. I mean, those are important too. But I think what makes baseball at this level, and really baseball in general, even at the big league level to a degree, you play so many games, there's so many opportunities, and you can really, in your business, touch a lot of people. And I think that's a great example, Rodney. I'm really glad you guys have a phenomenal time. I'm going to move that around. And do I like that? Do I like this? It's not too bad. Was that better, Stito? Better if DB covers himself up with the American Association glasses. Or just do this. Let's just go ahead and do that for the time being. Chris Illustrated brings you the show as always. What do we need to do to turn it around? I don't think there's a panic button here. I take you back to the 2018 season. Sioux City had slowly built a lead in the division over the course of really July 4th on. I mean, I think the closest the then T-Bones got to them, I believe, was like 3 games maybe, in late August. We had a little bit of a roller coaster ride in July and August. July was a pretty decent month. August, tail end of July, kind of started to swoon a bit and really went into that July/August first weekend kind of reeling a bit. As a matter of fact, the club went down to Cleburne and was going to be, with a loss, was down 9 ball games on the first game of a series. Then came back to win a game, cut the lead to 8, and then didn't lose again for 14 days, got really rolling. But even then, being back 8-9 games, you resign the fact that probably catching Sioux City was out of the question. And I think the closest we got to them was 6 games. And I think optically you just played good ball. You did your baseball math, won your series. So I would tell you that right now, worrying about Fargo, which I'm going to show the standings in a moment. By the way, Chicago welcomed the playoff party. They clinched yesterday. I think, Brett, that the thing is it's just to do what you've been doing. And that's win series. It's a 4-game series here. We want to split this one, I think, tonight and tomorrow. You need to win those 2. And really, could make a case you could have won last night too if you get the right. It's like, and Joe will probably tell us on the top step, leaving runners aboard, loaded corners, whatever, But I think that's a very good place to start today. Is what do you feel? I think the feeling is, you're probably not going to catch Fargo. I mean, granted, they could easily find their a stumble at the gate and in the final gate against the final furlong, I guess, in a horse racing term. I guess they could stumble and you can catch them. You might whittle this thing down to get to within 3 games next weekend. But I think the realistic thought is that you just do what you're doing. You're going to be fine, and you're going to wind up one of the 2 playing Fargo at some point anyway. You're probably going to play Winnipeg at some point anyway. I would even tell you that possibly if you win the division, you'd be able to play Sioux City anyway. I mean, really, the teams are all in the mix. Who you chose, really, winning the division was A, getting a chance to choose who you want to play first round, and B, having the home field. And I still think that second best record is important because let's just say you do knock off Fargo in the postseason. You become the number 1 seed in the finals. I mean, Chicago's not going to catch you there. Milwaukee's not. So, again, it reminds me a lot of the 18 and 19. The 19 season is a little different. This reminds me of the 19 season in the sense that you were banged up and kind of limping around. You're banged up a little bit here, but this club is so much deeper than the 19 club. The 19 club really was not that deep. They was really thin. 4, Sean, 4. So you've got, at the moment, if we begin the playoffs today, and I'll show them to you in a minute. Let's just do that to you now, Sean. Let's do that now. Let me show you where we sit right now on a Wednesday for baseball. Where are my standings? There they are. Let's put these up for you. Yep, top 4 in each division. Let me show you what it looks like right now. And right now, Brad chiming in, he knows exactly where they sit. Let's put the graphic down here on this Wednesday. Chicago clinched last night. They split that doubleheader and clinched at least a playoff spot. Now, granted, nothing as far as division title yet, obviously, but they are still 3.5 games clear. There's still a lot to be playing for there. Milwaukee 3.5 back in the East. King County 5 back. Cleveland's sort of sitting a little bit where Winnipeg is, except just one peck below the order there, then fourth place, so third. But Cleveland's a hot streak, or as we call Cleveland, a hot streak from perhaps closing the gap against King County. And I haven't looked at their schedule. We obviously we're Monarch centric here, but we can always glance at it this week on the broadcast. But it'd be interesting to see where they finish and all that. But they look to have cleared a major hurdle in their schedule. Their schedule was a lot of games at Gary and Chicagoland, and they now have a 3-game lead over Gary in that 4th spot. Railcats are 3-7. Not bad since the 6-24 start. And I pretty much said, I told you, Brad, that you'd be sitting right there where you were at. Did I not tell you? I said, I told you, Brad Allred, that you'd be right where you're at right now. So you should not be shocked by this development. They got a shot, and now granted it's a long shot, but they had a shot of finishing at 500, which at 6-24.
All right.
Yes, I told you guys would be fine. Finishing Chicago, then Lincoln were 3, then finishing Lake Country. So they've got a really healthy schedule. That's what I'm telling you. I don't know what Kane's got, but something delicious is that a win here, a win there, a win here and a loss there, and then close that gap to 4 to King County, and they could find themselves easily in 3rd position. In the West, Fargo, the chalk right now, they've got a 5-game lead, best record in the league. Just give them the title now, right? I mean, if you're in Fargo, they've already started counting are decising rings, right? I mean, that's the impression I got from some of their fans, that it's already a done deal, right?
All set. That went through no problem.
Kansas City, second best record, which does matter. A 5 back, dropped 3 in a row, but 7. I mean, you won 7-10, and you're still 5 back. I mean, I don't know what else you can do. Winnie, sort of the same position that Cleveland's in. They're 5 behind us. They're going to need to win the next 2, hope for some help this weekend, and then sweep the Monarchs next week. They could find themselves in 2nd position. But it's going to take a lot of things to happen, meaning, again, sweeping the Monarchs for 5 and then having the Monarchs stumble somewhere, multiple times. And then, of course, that last series could mean a lot. It's going to mean a lot anyway for somebody. Then Sioux City, 17 back. That's a great race to the bottom. Lincoln and Sioux City right now. Lincoln has a game to make up there. And they got a steady dose of each other coming up this week. So that'll be interesting to see. So the race was pretty fun for third or 4th and 5th, or 5th and 4th, 4th and 5th for both divisions. It looks like now Cleveland's bought a little bit of breathing room. And then, which in July, 3 games, but when you're looking at a week and a half left and the hourglass is starting to run out, that 3 remains large. And magic number-wise for Fargo, that, I believe, went to 8 last night for the division. Yep, 8. 8 for the division. So that all came down yesterday. So, yes, that's the situation. But, again, I think that, it's getting the bodies healthy, getting who you can get back healthy. And it may not be for example, you may get Lewis Thorpe and John Harris back and not get Matt Adams, or you may get Matt Adams back and John Harris, or Thorpe and Adams, whatever. I mean, you just don't know. The combination of that, you don't know. But I still think there'll be a little move or two between now and Saturday. 27th is the last day you can solidify things, and you really want to have some, you want back. I think that's the biggest thing right now. That's why you saw the Monarchs add 2 bullpen pieces, maybe not back-end guys, but guys that can get you innings. Seemed to think with Jalen Miller, who pitched very well last night. Miller gave the 1 run up, but it was really self-inflicted. He walked the batter and then throws a errant throw at first, and that's an error to second, a wild pitch to third, then a sac fly brings him home. He was 4 2/3 of a hitless ball. He looked good. And that's a nice shot in the arm. And really, Valdez looked good too. It is limited sample size last night. You're going to need innings from them. And that was a nice development last night for a bullpen that really, you'd move pieces to the rotation. Somebody's got to pitch to the bullpen at some point, right? and you saw last week, you don't want to go to your closer. I mean, yeah, I'm going to put it this way. You don't want to go to your closer and your setup guys every night of the week. You just can't do it. At some point, you need to be up big and give those guys a night off. And Kansas City kind of was on the border of almost wearing those guys out last week a little bit. I think you saw it on Sunday. And it wasn't a velo thing; it was just a control thing and really a fatigue thing. Joe gave us a pretty good update. He'll give us another one today on the health report brought to you by Swamp Health. But I think this is sort of what you're going to have to work through. You're going to have to probably look at the long term, at least round one without Matt Adams. That's probably the best way to go about it, to think that way. And if he's back earlier, which he wants to be back earlier, I know that for a fact, then good on you. But that's going to be kind of I would, and like Joe kind of said last night, the top step, you plan for what might not, what he might not be there, and hope that he is there. Hope and pray, and that's sort of what we're in the spot with. That does change things dramatically. But I would tell you that you're going to go back and look at that move in late July, early August, the Robson Malik Smith situation. Without those two pieces, who knows where you're at? Yes, you did lose Willie Abreu, but you gained a guy who's equally as talented as Abreu and a speed factor. And you saw last night, Malik Smith wreaked havoc to the base pass and created a run for you. Now, you haven't needed those runs very often. But as I said in the broadcast last night and right here yesterday, in a tight jam, you need that one run somewhere. You've got a puncher's chance to get it around with a guy like Malik Smith, who has been, 7 of 8 in stolen bases. So, anyway. By the way, Brad, how was Wrigley? It looked like a good time. You can't go to Chicago, not go to Wrigley, right? That's kind of the way it works. So we had a big field trip with the boys. We were there, but our off day was in Sioux City. So there's no Wrigley in Sioux City. There's that. So anyway. With the Monarchs, I don't know, Sean. I don't know. I don't know. That's one question to ask, and I can ask for you. I would think so, but I don't. I would think. My guess is yes. The passing of Lynn Dawson. Yes, that's not good news. If you obviously, I'm a big fan of his. He's a significant SIG, which means probably 0 to anybody else out there. It means a lot to me. And he was always just from the Chiefs standpoint. I mean, he was a QB1 first before QB1, right? So, Brad, excellent time going to Wrigley. Our time, I don't know if I told Brad, you may know this. I don't think I've seen you since then. When we were there, we had the off day. My wife was there. We stayed over on Monday. And it just happened to be the same day that Eric Stout got summoned to the big leagues, and we got to see him. And he got DFA'd and got traded. Now he's in the big leagues with the Pirates. So we unfortunately don't play any games in Pittsburgh, so we'd have gone and seen him play in Pittsburgh. But yeah, we've been talking about it. Did you guys know that Stout got the big leagues with the Pirates? We even mentioned that. I know that Morgan posted something online about that, but I talked about the broadcast over the week. But I don't know if we've really touched on this show, but sometimes it runs together when I talk about the air, what we talk about here, because it's obviously a lot longer show on the air and then we have here. But boy, Eric's just a good dude, man. It's good to see him and do what he's doing. But anyway, tonight I do have their matchup tonight. Tomorrow's Vargas. Today is, if I can find it here. There's Morgs. Hello, Morgs.
Hi.
It's Luis Ramirez tonight, right-hander Ramirez tonight, and then tomorrow night will be the righty going tonight for the Monarchs. Matt Hartman and then Matt Hall going tomorrow. Belzer gets the nod in Sioux Falls, and then to Gilliam on Saturday. TBA on Sunday, only because I don't know if there's a plan to bring Lewis Thorpe on the trip, off the list. He's on the injured list now, but I don't know. And with the crossing into Canada, he was going to go with us originally last time, but stayed back due to injury. So I don't know if they made a call on what's going to happen on Sunday/Monday, because I think that's sort of in flux at the moment. Not so much because they're not sure if they're going to maybe move a guy back, forward, or what. It may depend too on how the series goes, and really how the series goes this weekend. If you're 7 or 8 back, if you're 8 back and you've got just a week left, I don't know if you really are going to go in there trying to do anything more than just get your rotation set up for the next week. But again, that's why I've got TBA there on Monday. TBA on Sunday, but that could very easily be Martinson, and I think either Martinson starts there or the opener in Canada, one of the two. But so that's kind of what we'll try to find that out for Joe tonight at the Top Step, which airs about 6:40. All right, questions, comments. What do you got? I didn't check to see if we made champion over here. Just not like you're peaking like crazy at times. I can turn it down a little bit. How about that? Does that work a little bit? Let's see how bad it sounds. I'm trying to find that out for Joe tonight at the Top Step. That's not terrible. I brought it down a little bit. Let me see if it sounds a little better. All right, questions, comments. What do you got? I'm watching myself on replay. It's always fun. It's very scary. Let's see how bad it sounds. Doesn't sound terrible. Anyway, you know what it may be? Maybe because I've got it on my T-shirt. That may be what it is. Let me see if I can move it just a tad there. That may help a little bit. Mark says, I missed the MRI update. Yeah, I haven't heard either. I saw Joe this morning working out, and they did not get that report as of close of business yesterday. He's in St. Louis. He will be obviously he's in contact all the time. I believe we will expect to hear something. The question of why the MRI is coming up is because in these hamstring situations, tears or strains, right, or pulls. Pulls, tears, strains are all different things. And I think that was and the severity of such injury. And I do not know, the talk was that it was the severity was pretty high, but I've not heard that. That was just sort of a hearsay, kind of the doomsday worst case scenario, but I've not heard that there's not been an official word yet. I expect to hear, we taped the show in about an hour and a half. We taped the pregame show an hour and a half, and I expect to hear something then, more of an update of sorts then. And I know Joe was due to talk to Matt around lunchtime today, and I know that. So that's so where it stands. It's like Joe keeps saying, it's not the injury itself, it's the timing of recovery. I mean, hamstrings are something we all have had those issues, right? And some people recover fast, others takes longer. It depends on the severity, what you can do and not do. And if this was, say, June 1st, you're not nearly as concerned about it. You're concerned about it, but you're not worrying. They're not tapping your toes going, when's he going to be back? The fact that it's August 24th and you've only got basically a fortnight left in the season until the playoffs start. Your playoffs start 2 weeks from today. That's where that's the situation. So, and that's it's like I keep saying, the hourglass. Sands come out of the hourglass, and unfortunately, we don't have games in late October or 1st of December this year. We stop middle of September. So that's where Joe was coming from. The plan seems to be to prepare for what you've got right now and hope and pray he gets back in a timely fashion. If that's 2 weeks from today, that'd be outstanding. Because I think given a choice, given a choice, you'd rather have him 100% or as healthy as he can be 2 weeks from today, as opposed to rush back for you're probably going to be in the same spot anyway, right? I mean, let's be honest here. I mean, you're probably going to face Winnipeg again 2 weeks from today. I mean, there's a damn good chance you're going to go to Canada 3 times in a month. I mean, that's a really good chance it's going to happen. And when the schedule makers made the schedule, they didn't take that into account. But you're going to go to Canada 3 weeks out of 4. I mean, that's and you know my feeling on that advantage that Winnipeg has because of that whole deal. It's not the travel, it's the stress of crossing in and out. Now, granted, it works for them coming back, but they do it all the time, and the border guards probably know them. they right know the license plate the bus, right? I mean, they know. I mean, it's a unique advantage they have, and it's like I've talked about before.
Yeah, not too far behind.
It's the advantage we have in the Western Australia. I've talked about over the years where having everybody have to fly 3 time zones to play you. Of course, you got to fly 3 time zones to play everybody else. But there is that built-in advantage. You know, it's sort of a slight advantage. But anyway, so again, back to him, healthy and go from there. And what's amazing too is that Matt gets hurt in that play on Lincoln because he's hustling, right? He's hustling the leg out a ball that he had a chance to leg out. It was a hard smash to first. Jason Rogers knocks it down, and it ricochets. They're playing the shift right here, right? But the ricochet of the shift was going against the grain, meaning the second baseman was coming over to cover behind. He's playing out in shallow right. He's coming over to cover behind that direction. He suddenly sprints in, and that ball hits off the glove and ricochets back to really where he normally would play. It was a great play by the pitcher to get over and, you know, get the first in time just for Rogers to recover because the second baseman had no chance. It was that was going to be an infield single, and he was about to leg it out, but he got there, and again, Rogers basically off balance throw gets him. And Adams is still pulled up, was still hobbling down that first base line, hustling on that ball that was hitting on the ground on the right side. And, you know, that guy's he's just legend. That guy's just legend. I mean, it's been amazing to watch him all year. All righty, last call for questions and comments. Again, no good news highlights. So I guarantee we'd have them today. And oh well. I guarantee we'll have them tomorrow. Is that the bet? Is that like, am I sitting at the roulette wheel going, okay, it's been red for 12 times. It should be black now, or vice versa. Crazy game, isn't it? It's a crazy game, crazy times. Hey, playing meaningful baseball in August again. Kansas City up their 150th home run. The next target is the franchise record of 161, and that's well within reach. The other target, too, there was one more note that I don't think I got to yesterday. Some milestones for the franchise. I mentioned the 800 strikeouts. Kansas City is on pace to possibly break the franchise mark for strikeouts, which as a staff, which, if I can find it here in my notes, where is it? 943 is the front. I'm sorry, 943 is the league mark. I'm talking about a franchise mark. The league mark you won't catch. But your franchise mark, if I can find it, 897. You've got a chance, 70 away or whatever, 70 away to hit that mark. Not impossible. And that would be a new franchise record. You'd have to really have some magic to get the league mark of 943? Yeah, 943. So anyway, that on the horizon. And then one more note here runs. Where are my runs here? Somewhere. Oh, here we go. Kansas City scored 607 coming into last night. Our franchise mark is 664. I got another 7 last night. So looking at 614. I'm sorry, not 5, 612. Um, I think you've got another 50 runs in you, don't you? You break your franchise mark for runs. So a lot of really good numbers are happening right now. And what's amazing about the strikeouts and the home runs, and let me give you one more home run piece. I mentioned this yesterday. I mentioned this to Mark Brandmeier yesterday too, and he was like, wow. Remember you set a home run record against the Houston Apollos last year that kind of sort of tainted that number a little bit. You've hit 150 home runs without the Apollos. So, I mean, there's that. Let's see here. Go Monarchs, Sean. Good to see you. Good news. Yes, home run 150. 150.
Oh, yeah.
Karen, we need 11 more to go to tie the record. By the way, you folks in the broadcast crew that like to follow us on the radio side.
No worries. Do you want to go ahead and RSVP for it?
Labor Day Monday. We'll be upstairs on the adjacent to the Legends Club. We'll be right down there on the perch there, on the little patio areas where we're going to set the broadcast up. You guys will be able to come and go, mill about, and hang out, and have a little big Labor Day bash with us on the broadcast. So I'll be talking about that in the broadcast tonight. But I mentioned last night, I teased that. I'll give you more details tonight. But yes, it's DB's Big Bash on Monday, Labor Day. We'll be on the patio above the Legends Club, next to the Legends Club. The reason out there is because I need a place to set up where I won't get a bad echo. And so we need to set the broadcast crew out there, and you folks can come in and out of the Legends Club, hang out with us out on the patio. Should be fun. I'd love to pack. I'd love to see 100 folks there. Love to have 100 people up there for the broadcast crew. It would be great. So anyway, details tonight on that as well. So all righty, last call. Let's put that up. Oh, broadcast tonight. Broadcast tonight is at, again, let's bring this off.
That's who we're battling. We're battling them for
Here we go.
Right now. So
Next slinging tickets there. Tonight, 6:30 on MixLR, 6:45 or so on AA Baseball TV. By the way, last night, great job of the crew. The problem with the AA Baseball last night was not on our end. That was on Lemeo's end, and we got it fixed last night. And they got it fixed, and we got going. The AA Baseball TV tonight, AA Baseball TV, and on MixLR. That's right, the radio broadcast right there. All right, you guys ready for some 1, 2, 3 Go Monarchs? Again, thanks to the Roastery Coffee Company, 6 locations in Kansas City. There's one near you, or Price Chopper, or your grocer. So your select grocer in your neighborhood can also hook you up as well. Chocolate raspberry cold brew today from me. Can't beat that. You guys ready for some 1, 2, 3 Go Monarchs? Bring this down right here. I'm ready. You're ready. We're all ready. Me.
It's the box office, like the first things you see when you pull into the ballpark, that left field entrance gate B.
There we go. All righty. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Go Monarchs. I'll see you in the broadcast. Now, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.